Hello, Year 7. I hope you're all well. Mr. Webb has set you a fun project on biomes, and I'm going to give you some help on a few tips and tricks to help you with your project. So the project you are going to do over the next few weeks is you're going to create a travel brochure based on a biome of your choice. So you're going to convince people to want to travel to a biome that you have learnt about in the past few lessons. So you can choose from any biome you've learnt with Mr. Webb. You can choose the tundra, deserts, grasslands, rainforest, taiga, deciduous forest, whatever you feel like. You'll be able to convince people to go on holiday, and you'll probably just be able to pick the one that you have the most fun with. You can see here I've already done an example, just to help with your travel brochure when you are planning. I've chosen the tundra and I've chosen the Arctic, okay? So we know the Arctic is a cold climate, so I've put in here what it's like. It's a cold and dry climate, it's cold all through all the months and the years. I've got a map location of the tundra at the northernmost part of the world. I've got myself a company name, Tundra Travels, with a little tagline, feel on top of the world, and some pictures just to show exactly where they are going. So remember, you're trying to convince people to go on holiday to the biome of your choice. So you do need to include a few things. For example, you need to include what types of things people will see and what they will do at these places. So you can see here I've got excursions, so they can see the northern lights, take a dog sledding tour, go kayaking in the Arctic. So it's very varied. You can also include what to pack. Walking boots, thick insulated jackets, thermal tops, sunglasses, just whatever you feel like is necessary for them to go on holiday in these types of climate. For example, tundra is going to be very cold, so you need to pack very warm clothes. Include what type of animals you'll see, polar bears, foxes, that sort of thing. And you want to be really convincing, so you need to say why they should go, what they can do there, and why they should visit that biome rather than any other place in the world. So just have fun with it and enjoy your project, and just try and be creative. Try and just think about what you've learned and include loads of pictures and writing to try and convince people to go on holiday. So if you need any help on how to make a travel brochure, you can use templates on Word. So you can use File, New, type in brochure, and many pics of brochures will be available. So you can just click on one and then you'll be able to edit it. So I did that with this one, travel brochure, and it turned out with this layout. So all you had to do is pretty much write in the sections and copy and paste the pictures that you want to use. So for example, I'll copy and paste a picture here for you now. So a nice picture of the Arctic, copy it, paste it, and then you want to do in front of text, so make sure you'll be able to move it. And resize it so it fits. So there's not too much space, but you have to try and deal with what you can. So that would be an example of how to add pictures to your travel brochure. So remember, just make it fun, make it exciting, make it colorful, and pick a biome that you really feel like you can advertise and you can convince people to go there on holiday. So yeah, have fun, Year 7, enjoy it, and can't wait to see your projects.
Hello Year 7, my name's Miss Ramikis and I'm here to explain to you option 2 of your Biomes project. I want you to imagine that you're planning an expedition to the rainforest. To help you and your team survive, you need to put together a survival guide. There are 5 things you need to include, and I'll talk you through it step by step.
Step 1. Draw a diagram showing the structure of the rainforest and add some labels. Think about how the structure of the rainforest might be able to help you to survive. For example, the canopy can provide shelter to keep you dry from the rains. Step 2. Do your research into what lives in the rainforest. List 5 dangerous plants or animals that you might encounter on your expedition. Find out what makes them so dangerous and how they are adapted to survive in the Amazon rainforest. Step 3. It's time to pack a bag. You need to decide what you want to take with you to the rainforest. You must choose 10 essential items to help your survival. Think about the conditions in the rainforest, the climate and the surroundings. You might also want to take 1 or 2 home comforts, such as snacks or things to keep you entertained. Remember, it's really important that you justify why you're taking each of the items and provide an explanation for how each one will help you to survive. Step 4. Draw a map highlighting your proposed route. Label key features and areas to avoid and justify your choice of route. Step 5. There are many tribes and indigenous people that live in the Amazon forest. Do some research into how they live, what they believe, and their impact on the rainforest. Produce a fact sheet about one of these tribes.
You can present your survival guide however you wish.
You can create your survival guide on the computer using Word or Paint, or you can produce it all by hand.
Fancy a challenge? You've just found out that one of your team has dropped the GPS navigation device in a river. You're going to have to find your way back to safety using nothing but a map and a compass. So, you need to include a guide on how to use a compass to find out what direction to travel. There are some helpful tips and links in the project booklet to help get you started. Good luck Year 7, and I look forward to reading your guides.
Right, hi there Year 7. I'm going to tell you about how you might get started on one of your Biomes projects. So this is the project where you are being asked to build a model of a biome of your choice. You might decide to do rainforest or taiga or desert, whichever biome you found the most interesting. Okay? So there's lots of different things you can use to build your model. The key thing is to be creative. All right, you're going to have to think outside the box a little bit here. Think about what resources have you got there at home, okay, and what can you use to create a fantastic model of your chosen biome. So I'm going to talk about and show you a few things you might use that you might have and how you would turn this into a fantastic model. So probably the best thing to start with is a box, maybe an empty box like a shoe box, or maybe somebody at home's had a delivery of something. So I'd start with a box of some kind, okay, and use that to kind of put your model in, all right? Next step might be to add a little bit of colour maybe to show the colour of your biome. So maybe if you've got some coloured paper or something, that'd be really good, wouldn't it? So like I've got a little bit of green paper here, I could use that as a little background, okay? Or maybe blue if I want kind of a sky colour. All right, here's a bit of blue, and get that stuck to the back of my box as a little bit of a background, okay? Then you're going to need to think what's going to go in my biome model. So there's 2 main things you need to include, the plants and the animals, or 3 things, and the landscape itself. You know, what does the landscape look like? So that's where you're going to need to get creative. So let me show you what things I've managed to find in our house today. So a good place to start would be in the kind of recycling bin. So we've got like some paper bags here, some plastic recycling, a few bits of cardboard, some cups. We've got a couple of like toilet rolls. They'd be really good for making some trees, wouldn't they? So I could stick those down, try and make some leaves out of something. That would be brilliant. I've got some like string here that you'd use in the garden. That would be good for making some like vines, wouldn't it, in a rainforest? That would be brilliant. A few little bits of paper that are different colours, and so on. We found that I had some like packaging that was like sort of all paper stuff. That would be really cool to go at the bottom of mine if I was doing a rainforest. There's like the kind of leaves on the floor. So you need to be creative here. See what you can find, all right, and think, oh, how can I turn this and create a fantastic model out of it, okay? Now a few things that will be helpful as well. So maybe if you've got things like a bit of sellotape or some glue, something like that to help stick things into your model, that would be brilliant. You might even, if you are into your arts and crafts, or somebody at home might have some like bit of paint or something. I found a few bits of paint in our cellar here, which you could maybe use to add a bit of colour to your model. Okay. Pens are really helpful, so if you've got some like marker pens or something, that can be really good as well. All right. You could even, this is maybe if you're going to be really creative, like I brought a few plants here, so maybe for my rainforest, if I was doing that, I could add some actual plants to it. That would look pretty cool, wouldn't it? Let me just show you one little model. I'm just going to go behind the camera for a second. This is how a finished one might look. Well, this is an in-progress one that I made last lockdown. So this here, just get it in the camera. There you go. So this was like a mountain landscape that I created last lockdown. So you can see a bit of cardboard. This was like 3D paper mache that I've painted there. So that's one way you might be able to do it, okay? So add a bit of paint, a bit of colour, make it 3D. It could be fantastic, okay? To see what you've got, all right? Some of you might have toys, you might have younger brothers and sisters who've got little models, animal models, loads of different things you can use to go into your model, okay? Once you've built your model, the last thing you need to do with it is make sure you do some labels on annotations, writing and describing about what you've put in your model. So for example, if you've put in some different animals, you've maybe put in, for example, I don't know, some monkeys or a couple of snakes or something. If you're doing a rainforest, then you might want to add some little post-its or labels saying, right, what are these animals? How are they adapted to survive in that particular biome? Okay? So be as creative as you can. Please make sure that you ask whoever's at home that they're happy for you to use whatever resources you've got. All right, don't just randomly start chopping things up without asking anybody. Maybe put down a bit of newspaper if you're gluing stuff, all that type of stuff. All right. If you're not sure, get someone at home to try and help you out. All right. I'm sure mums and dads and whoever will be happy to help you out. All right. And the key thing is enjoy it, have some fun. All right. And don't forget to send me through some pictures of how things are going. All right. And you can log on each week. And I'll be there to answer any questions. Okay, super.